I have literally tried to record this about 4 times, and every time I do, I go into angry rambling. So I'm not going to do that this time. But I want to talk to you about the Delirium Pilot. Did you watch the Delirium Pilot? What did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? Tell me your thoughts, because it drove me up the wall. It was like watching a train wreck happen before my very eyes. There's so much that I didn't like about it, but I'm going to stick to the main points so we're not here for hours. Julian is my all-time favourite Delirium series character. His storyline with Lena in Pandemonium is so amazing that it should be respected and done with utter reverence because it's just so good. But then they just pretended it never happened. First of all, Julian shouldn't even have been in that episode because he doesn't turn up till book 2. Get out. Why was he in Hannah's garden? Why was he stalking Hannah? Hannah and Julian never meet, ever. Throughout the course of the books, they never meet. Yet he was in her garden. They're not even from the same city. Yet he was in her garden, watching her from the bushes. Super uncomfortable. And then Julian's dad, in the book, he's really abusive. He's not nice. He doesn't love his child. He's just using him to further his campaign. Yet he came off really quite caring and loving and concerned about Julian until he punched him in the face, which was really weird. Like, I know what they were trying to do, but because they hadn't made him an a-hole up until that point, him just punching Julian made no sense at all. I didn't understand. That was my major qualm with the whole pilot, was why is Julian here and why are you ruining his epic story? But other little things that bothered me was Alex was really creepy. Now, firstly, I thought it's just because I don't like Alex. I don't like Alex as a character. After Delirium was done, I just couldn't stand Alex. And anyone who's read the book, you will understand why I couldn't stand Alex. But because Delirium is Alex's book and I liked him while he was in Delirium, I wanted the chance to like him in the pilot. I was going to give Pilot Alex a fresh start. But I couldn't. I just couldn't. He was creepy. He was stalkerish. He seemed way too old to be pursuing this, like, what is she, 15? Throwing rocks at her window. How does he know where she lives? Like, what are you doing? You creepy. And then when, like, she meets him on the boardwalk and she waves to him and he's like, oh yeah. No. Stop it. He was just so weird. You agree, right? He was creepy. I think we need to all agree that Alex was creepy. And when Lena went to the house to rescue Hannah from the police, Creep was there again. He was in the book, but he was... when they went into hiding inside the house, made no sense to me. And the dog had bitten her, and he was like, does that hurt? Yes, asshole, it hurts. A dog just took a chunk out of my freaking leg. And he's like, I'm gonna take you home. That's not what happens in the book. They have a moment. He's like wrapping her up and like hoping she doesn't die and stuff. Oh, it just really, really annoyed me. And one of the really things that just got to me was how much they didn't seem to care about the disease, which the book is totally about. Everyone kept talking about love like we would talk about love, except they were like, oh, I was in love once and it was painful. Instead of being like, I was diseased and it sucked and this is why we have the cure. And I didn't like how they were kind of leaning towards the fact that Julian's dad had created the cure, or that it was like brand new and he was like, oh, look at me and my cure thing. And that slow motion turn You know the one I'm talking about. When Lena meets Alex at the party and he slow motions turns so she can see his scar. If you had not read the book, I don't think that scar would have made any sense whatsoever. Not to mention the terrible editing, but that might just be me in that section. When he turned like 3 times, each time the camera went back to him. Horrifying. And the big deal they made about Lena's dad, it's her mom that we should be making big deals about, not her dad. I just didn't understand. And the crypts, when they went into the prison. I know that we're working off a TV show here, but it's just not what I imagined. Like the way the way Lauren Oliver describes the crypts, it's horrifying. Yet they were just in a normal prison, hanging out, being like, prison. And notice how they didn't do the love thing in the, unless I skipped that bit, but I don't think they did do the love thing that her mom, like, row her way out of the prison. Because love wasn't a big deal in the pilot, even though the whole freaking series is about how people find love damaging. Just blew my mind. I didn't understand at all. I don't know. I was just kind of like, did you even try? I really feel like they read Delirium, skimmed through it, then someone was like, oh, by the way, there's another hot guy in the next book. And they were like, excellent, best friend, doesn't have a love interest, we'll give her that one. And then they just didn't try. Whoever wrote that, you didn't try. You did not try. Did you even read the book? I just don't, like, maybe they Wikipedia'd it, because it was just, no. See, I'm starting to angry ramble again, but it really annoyed me. And I was seeing in the comments of the video itself that people were talking about how much they enjoyed it. So if you did enjoy it, can you please tell me why? Because I would love that perspective. So far, everyone I've talked to hated it. But the people that liked it don't explain why they like it, and I would really like to see that perspective of why you liked it, because I just can't understand. Like, I can really, really see why that pilot wasn't picked up, because it was awful. It was so awful. I don't want to bash a filmmaker, because that's hard work, but oh my god, what were you thinking? It's awful. It was like, it was just, I just felt so as if they had disrespected Lauren Oliver's story and had completely brushed off what it's actually about to put in hot young actors and let them tell a story that didn't really matter. I don't know. It just annoyed me. It annoyed me that Alex was a creepy stalker. It annoyed me that Julian was also a creepy stalker and had no context of being there. And then it annoyed me how Lena and Hannah spoke so freaking openly about the parties and about Hannah liking Alex. Like, they were basically shouting it in the mansion. In front of the maid. Like, that would get Lena in serious trouble, and yet they did it anyway. And don't even get me started on the fake running. That might just be the actor inside me though. I'm gonna go, because I'm just gonna angry ramble, and this is like 9.5 minutes of me spouting. But if you enjoyed Delirium, please tell me why. And if you didn't, feel free to also tell me why, because I will back you up on every point. Okay, me and my rainbow eyebrows are peacing out. I'm a bounce. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Slán go fóill.